Have you ever looked at someone you love and realized you weren't their partner anymore? That you had been demoted from a human being to a piece of equipment? My boyfriend, Adrien, had 47,000 followers and a soft life, aesthetic that millions envied. But behind the ring lights, he had a secret.
Me.
And last Saturday, he looked me in the eye and asked me to do the one thing no woman should ever be asked. Can you act like you're not with me tonight? It kills my engagement. He wanted a night of single energy. Well, he got exactly what he asked for. If you've ever been underestimated, ignored, or treated like a background character in your own life, this story is for you. Today, we're talking about the cost of chasing fame and the moment I decided that being erased was the best thing that ever happened to me. Hit that like button, subscribe for more satisfying stories of standing your ground, and let's get into it. My name is Carmen, and for a year and a half, I was the woman behind the lens. When I met Adrien, he was just a guy working part-time at a boutique with a dream. I loved his ambition. I really did. I was his first investor, not just with my heart, but with my paycheck. I bought the reflectors. I edited the captions. I paid for the aesthetic dinners he couldn't afford so he could keep up appearances. But as his follower count climbed, his peripheral vision for me started to shrink. I became the person who held the phone, not the person he wanted to hold hands with. Last Saturday was supposed to be his Met Gala, a high-profile influencer party in a downtown loft. Adrien was at the vanity, obsessively applying serums, his face a mask of concentration. "What time are we leaving?" I asked, adjusting my dress. He didn't look at me. He just checked his reflection and said, casually, like he was asking me to pick up milk, "Hey, can you act like you're not with me tonight?" I actually laughed. I thought it was a bit. But when I looked at him, his expression was cold. Annoyed. "It's not a big deal, Carmen. I just don't want couple energy there. People flirt more when they think you're single. It makes the content more interesting. It drives the algorithm." The word engagement felt like a slap. I wasn't his girlfriend. I was a liability to his metrics. Something shifted inside me in that bedroom. A quiet, cold click. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just said, "Okay, I'll try." He beamed. He kissed my cheek, a dry, transactional kiss, and we got in the car. The escalation. The invisible woman. The drive there was a preview of the rest of my life if I stayed. He was glued to his phone, watching his follower count move like a stock ticker. I watched the city lights blur and realized I already felt single. I just hadn't updated my status yet. When we arrived, Adrien transformed. The moment his feet hit the pavement, the influencer was born. Shoulders back, chin up, recording a story before we even hit the door. He didn't wait for me. He didn't hold the door. He vanished into the base and the neon lights of the loft. Inside, I was a ghost. I stood by a pillar with a gin and tonic, watching him work the room. He was touching elbows, tilting his head for selfies, laughing a little too loudly. When people asked who I was, he'd shrug and say, "Oh, she drove me." Then came the woman in the white dress. She was all over him, her hand on his shoulder, her breath on his neck. I caught Adrien's eye. I raised an eyebrow, a silent, "Are you serious?" He mouthed one word back, "Relax." That was the final grain of sand. An hour later, he walked past me toward the balcony with a group of it people. Without stopping, he whispered, "Don't follow us, okay? It'll look weird." I didn't feel sadness. I felt clarity. I set my drink down, walked out of the loft, and got into my car. The turning point, the empty closet. I sat in the driveway of our apartment, the engine off. My phone was silent. "No, where are you?" "No, are you okay?" Adrien hadn't even noticed I was gone. I walked into our home, or rather his stage. The neutral couch I paid for because it photographed well. The fake books. The framed affirmations about abundance that meant nothing. I didn't perform heartbreak. I just opened the closet and started packing. Every shirt, every charger, every practical object felt light in my hands. I was already gone. My body was just catching up. Then my phone buzzed. "Adrien, where did you go?" No apology. Just a question about a missing accessory. I didn't answer. I packed the car, left his aesthetic throw blankets on the bed, and waited. At midnight, he called. Hey, he snapped, sounding irritated. I need a ride. Everyone's drunk, and I'm not taking an Uber dress like this. I looked at my bare closet. I looked at the keys in my hand. I thought you wanted me to act like I wasn't with you tonight, I said. Carmen, don't start. I'm still acting, I whispered. And I hung up. The next morning was a barrage of brand diplomacy. Adrien moved from anger to gaslighting. You embarrassed me. People noticed you disappeared. You know how important this was for my brand. There was that word again. Brand. Not us. Not love. Brand. I went back one last time while he was networking at brunch. I packed the rest of my things. I even wiped down the counters, a habit of a woman who spent too long trying to keep a shared life functional. On the mirror, he had a sticky note. Shoot GM reel before noon. I wasn't a partner. I was part of the setup. He sent a voice note, his voice clipped and reasonable. So you're punishing me over one night? You're being dramatic. If you can't handle dating someone like me, maybe you're not built for this. He wasn't upset he lost me. He was upset he lost his unpaid photographer, his driver, and his landlord. 2 weeks later, he tried the 1 a.m. call. The safety net. Carmen, I'm stuck. I didn't plan this well. I thought you'd still come get me. I can't, I said. Why are you being so cold? You're really leaving me stranded to prove a point. I took a deep breath. I'm not proving a point, Adrien. I'm respecting your wishes. You asked me to act like I wasn't with you. This is what it looks like. The line went dead. He blocked me 5 minutes later. Adrien didn't lose a girlfriend that night. He gained a narrative. He posted a photo from that party with a caption about choosing yourself and growth. I just had to laugh. Closure isn't something someone gives you in a carefully worded email. It's something you take for yourself when you realize that staying would only make you smaller. If you've ever had to walk away from someone who tried to erase you, let me know in the comments. How did you find your voice again? Smash that like button if you think Carmen made the right call, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a story of someone finally taking their power back. I'll see you in the next one.